In a quiet village surrounded by dusty fields and silent hills, lived a boy named Daniel. He was 13. His world was very small. A broken house without electricity, a mother with weary hands, and an old radio that only played when luck was on their side. His father had died when he was a child, and his mother worked far away in town as a cleaner. They had no spare clothes, barely enough food, and people believed they would never escape their poverty. But Daniel believed otherwise. Every evening he would climb to the rooftop, watch the sunset paint the sky in fire, and whisper to himself, "One day, this sky will be mine," not as a dream, but as reality. At school, he was known as the boy with torn shoes and ink-stained fingers. Other children mocked him. "Why do you study so much?" they asked. "You're just a cleaner's son. Kids like us never become anything." Daniel never argued. He simply smiled and replied, "That may be your truth, but it's not mine." Then came an announcement: a national science competition. The prize was a scholarship to study in the city, something no one in Daniel's village had ever imagined. Everyone thought it was meant only for city kids with resources. But Daniel didn't. He discovered an old book in the library about solar energy. Night after night, he read under a flickering street lamp outside. For weeks, he collected scraps, tin cans, broken wires, shattered glass, and began building a solar model. He had no proper tools, only determination and imagination. One day, his teacher noticed and chuckled kindly. "Daniel, you're smart, but this is too ambitious. It's okay to try, but don't expect too much." Daniel looked up with steady eyes and said, "Sir, if I start by believing I can't, then there's no point in starting at all." The day of the competition came. Daniel stood nervously on a stage in the city, surrounded by students with polished uniforms and flawless models. When he presented his project, the judges fell silent. His model looked rough, but it worked. It produced real power, and his words carried vision, faith, and courage. He didn't sound like a boy. He sounded like a leader. That evening, as the sun dipped behind tall city buildings, Daniel sat outside, waiting for his bus back home. He thought, maybe they didn't like it. Maybe I made a fool of myself. Suddenly, a woman with silver hair and a blue sari walked up. She was one of the judges. She handed him an envelope and smiled. "You reminded me of the person I once dreamed to be," she said. Daniel opened it. Winner, full scholarship, housing, uniform, books, future. He didn't cry. Instead, he looked at the sky and whispered, "I told you." Years rolled by. Daniel became an engineer. He returned to his village, not as a visitor, but as a builder of change. He opened schools. He placed solar panels on rooftops. He guided young minds, and on the gate of the new learning center, he wrote in bold letters, "The sky is not the limit. Your thinking is." Moral of the story: you may be born in poverty, but your thoughts can still be rich. A positive mind doesn't ignore reality, it creates new ones. Remember, the world changes first inside your mind, and then through your actions.